I bump into a lot of people who always talk about how last night was a tough night because they couldn't get to sleep or stay asleep. And at that moment, I want to ask them, when was the last time that you physically created something? Not just more thought to keep you awake, but physically brought something forward and shared it with the rest of the world. I'm a firm believer that creativity is an addiction. And when you can't sleep, that's your creativity knocking on your soul. Unplugged, because we will always say yes to creativity, totally uncut, because we all make mistakes. So turn it into a tool. This is Arroe Unplugged. Oh, man. Ooh, that back scratch. That's difficult to reach. Right there on the blade of your back, sort of in the upper middle range. My wife calmly said, as you get older, your angel wings grow. I stopped. I thought about that. Being a huge fan of birds and the owner of 4 birds, my heart warmed up to that idea. I know how bird feathers are lost and grow back. I've experienced many, many years of molting with my fly babies. As we get older, our angel wings grow. To quote Jane Fonda, I'm not afraid of death, but I have regrets. See, to me, those are the lyrics from an angel in the making, locating that inner peace that guides our souls forward. Hey, it's Arroe. This is The Daily Mess, a chronological walk through an everyday world. I am a daily writer. Things such as a back scratch are like, oh, write about it. One of the things that led me into doing commercial production for iHeartRadio was that I was so disgusted with the way that radio commercials sounded that I began telling people that why can't we get better commercials? And then my heart spoke to me. Locate the solution. You want better commercials? Do something about it. And so that opened the door for me to become a production director for the greatest radio company on the planet. Find the solution and stay away from the complaint. That's what daily writing is. That's what the Daily Mess is all about. This is the Daily Mess. Learning how to put listening ahead of being the lead speaker in a conversation. Can I say that again? Because I really want this to sink in. Learning how to put listening ahead of being the lead speaker in a conversation. Having the courage and the confidence to stay free of being the know-it-all. My practice, Matt, is being a huge fan of podcasting, not as the host, but the listener. It teaches my reasons to react, to hold back, because in reality, they can't hear me if I were to say something. Yet by being a listener, I learn more. An outsider's output doesn't equal the best input. An outsider's output doesn't equal the best input. Too many times, great learning conversations are brutally injured by the human need to offer their opinion. Now try to get back to the origin of the subject. A lot of progress is lost because the outsider's output didn't equal the best input. You don't always have to be the keeper of the conversation. The art of listening doesn't need a battery pack to operate properly. It's always available. Be the listener first. Stay away from that opinion. Because the one thing that I have learned as I have grown in this world is that when your opinion is released, that gives those on the outside of you to give their opinion back. That's how I created a podcast. It's called Pod Crashing. I thought it would be really cool to be like a movie critic. This would be the greatest thing because nobody else is doing it, because that's what's cool about being a podcaster is that, wow, you can do whatever you want. And if it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, okay, try another one. But I wanted to be a critic of podcasting because there's a lot of bad podcasting out there. And then I heard in my heart as I sat down that day to do Pod Crashing, the very first episode, in my heart, I heard that again. Find the solution. Find the solution. In other words, listen Don't put your output in somebody's input. And I changed my mind about what I wanted the Pod Crashing episodes to be, to show other podcasters how to make it greater. And those that are coming into podcasting, it's not just something that you can just run away with, but give them something they can be inspired by, empowered by, they can learn from, they can teach other people that follow them. The art of listening doesn't need a battery pack to operate properly. It's always available. Learning how to put listening ahead of being the lead speaker in a conversation. Having the courage and confidence to stay free of being the know-it-all. I'm Arroe, and that's the Daily Mess.